Concept that is John Waters. It joins us right now. John has written a new book called Carsick about a trip he planned to take hitchhiking across the country. Now he thinks about it for a long time, eventually going on the trip from the end of Interstate 7. I think he went from your home, Baltimore, all the way to San Francisco. Along the way he met some interesting people and maybe even learned a thing or two about himself.
I love the photos, John. I'm not a psycho.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the sign I carried, but it didn't work. Everyone laughed, but I thought, hey, I'm not here to warm up crowds going to work. You know, they didn't pick me up,
Oh, they
though.
pick you up and they
laughed
and
waved, but they didn't pick me up.
Now, I was surprised that, and it tells me what an institution you've become. You say that about 80% of the people that you ran into knew who you were.
After some drove past me. None of them thought they drove. If they thought it was me, they drove past and thought, "Well, that couldn't be him. Why is he standing in a free, on an entrance ramp in Kansas?" And they come back. But many people thought I was a homeless man, which I sort of was.
Well, you were at that point.
It was your homeless journey.
My hobo journey.
That's it. Hobo
Well, I didn't have a
journey.
sign saying hobo.
Oh, got
I
it.
should have. Maybe
Maybe it might work.
because no gay people picked me up.
Really?
No, that I knew. Well, I didn't ask for ID.
You know how they are.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So John, this idea of going across the country in this day and age now, it's much more treacherous than it used to. You said when you were a kid, you used to hitchhike from school.
It's no
Every
more
day.
treacherous.
It is no more treacherous.
No, I didn't have one bad ride. Everybody was great to me. And believe me, half the people really didn't know who I was. And a few of them, if I tell them, they acted like I said, "I'm Howard Hughes."
Yeah.
You're like, "Sure you are, buddy." Right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was like a thing that you did, though. I mean, you and like Patty Hearst hitchhike in your
I did. Well,
hometown?
see, I live in Provincetown in the summer, and I hitchhiked to this one beach that was 10 miles away because you needed a sticker. I couldn't drive there. So I hitchhiked, and then it became kind of like a date. I'd ask people, "Want to go on a hitchhiking trip?" And Patty did go with me one day, and her husband yelled at me, "Haven't we had enough trouble?" But I hadn't had enough trouble. She had. I had not. Yeah.
Can you imagine him and Patty Hearst?
Well, the guy that picked us up, we got in the car, and he looked over at me, and he did recognize me, and he went, "Oh, John Waters." And I saw him look in the mirror and see her, and she said, "He made me do it."
We have a soundbite here. This is your hitchhiking had just been picked up by a friendly cop who offers to give you a ride to the Indiana border.
As we pull off, he suddenly says with a knowing wink, "I loved you in Fargo." Oh no, not again, I think. Another fan who thinks I'm Steve Buscemi. No, I always get that I post it. I'm not Steve Buscemi. Oh yes, you are, he yells with a startling conviction. I'm really not, I argue. I love him and we've met many times, but come on, Officer Laddie interrupts. Let's do lines from Con Air.
See, that's the fictitious part, because I imagine the best that could happen and the worst, and that's my imagination of the best. In the real chapter, a real cop did pick me up. Yeah, and he was lovely and gave me a ride.
And knew you? Do cops know John Waters?
No, he came.
No.
He stopped to check me for warrants.
Okay.
And I had a fame kit that my assistant made me. That I flashed my Directors Guild of America card, which really is an odd thing to get you out of prison.
Exactly.
I vote for the Oscars.
So, John,
but it worked.
when people see you, again, we first knew of you, I think, Pink Flamingo, probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But what is it? What do they react to? Hairspray? What's the first thing they say?
All different things. Some people recognize me because I was in the Chucky movie. Some people recognize me.
No, that was Steve Buscemi.
No. Flight attendants do say that to me. But my favorite thing that happened on an airplane recently, this woman kept staring at me next to me, and I thought, what's she going to say? Finally, she said, "Are you a magician?" That was my favorite. And I was going to say, "Here's your boarding pass."
I can see that.
Yeah, I
see
can
that.
too. Really.
So this whole thing is broken up into the fiction and the nonfiction.
Yeah.
So
I imagine the best and the worst that could happen before I left.
So you didn't really have sex with an alien then?
I did not.
Okay,
But
I just wanted you to go
I
on
have
the
a
record.
magic body part from that in there. But a few people didn't read the introduction that talked about that it was fictitious. Said, "Was that true?" I said, "You're kidding. You're asking me if that was true."
We have the alien here right now. We're
Oh,
gonna
really?
bring it. Yes.
Good. I can relive it.
Listen, you've always been outrageous, but over time you're sort of like rageous now.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have pushed that envelope so much that the envelope is bigger and contains you, don't you think?
I don't think I've changed that much. My last movie was about sex addiction. I got a NC-17 rating. I don't know. But at the same time, no one gets mad at anything I say anymore because I'm not mean.
You went to the Grammys?
I went
you
to
were
the Grammys,
nominated, by the way,
and
for
by
this.
the way, I'm happy Beck won. I disagree with the guy
With
on your show.
Kanye.
I think he deserved to win. He was the coolest guy there.
Oh, hold it. who are you
Yeah.
wearing here? What is this? What is this?
That's Walter van Beirendonck, who's a great Belgian designer, and I'm
Wow.
glad you noticed.
Yeah, I know. How could you not?
Yeah.
Now, being you, I mean, you're a put on with everything. So here you are at the Grammys. You're there, you're nominated, and yet it's a put on at the same time.
Well, it's not a put on. I was a presenter and I lost to Joan Rivers.
Joan
I'm not
Rivers.
going to lose to anybody.
You-
You
I
know,
would
and
imagine.
only good thing about her death, she never knew she died.
Oh, good.
That's the one
You're
thing.
right.
I hope that happens to me. Right.
You're right.
But it was, so I thought she was going to win. But it was exciting. I had never been nominated for the Grammy, really. So it was, I didn't even know there was that category, to tell you the truth. And then later I went to part 2, which I had the best seats because I watched the Teamsters the whole time change all that equipment time everybody sang. But all the stars and their entourage had to walk right past me to go to the bathroom. So I saw Rihanna had the biggest entourage.
Did she?
Yeah. But a great one. She looked great.
For you, is there anything that's left on your bucket list?
I probably haven't written a novel. I'd like to do that. Yeah,
You
but
are-
certainly everything that I
wait.
dreamed.
You are a novel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's my own. That's all right. That's thinking up my own character for myself. I have, but still, there's things I haven't done that I want to do. Definitely, but definitely a novel would be one.
Okay. And very personally, what would you like to do?
Very personally, I have good health, obviously.
Yeah. Well, you're doing
and
okay.
Both my parents lived to be 90, so I hope I
Yeah.
got their genes.
What did your parents make of you when you were a kid?
They were frightened and supportive. I mean, I was born 2 months early, so I caused trouble right from the
There's the
beginning.
frightening
I was
part.
overly baptized.
Well,
That's
let's
what
remember,
happened.
this is you now in Hollywood, but you were in Baltimore back then.
Yeah. It didn't make any difference. If I grew up in Hollywood, they would have been uptight about those movies, too.
Good to see you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very,
Nice
very
to
much.
meet
Thanks for
you.
having me.